Good morning and welcome to Satya's Sunday message broadcast. I'm Ali Benjamin and I'm so happy to be here. I'm here in Farmington, Utah, and I'd love to know where you are. Where are you watching from? Whether you're watching this live on Facebook or as replay on YouTube or some other platform, I'd love to know where you are, what's going on with you. Drop a little comment below and let's join in. Let's become a part of what's happening here at the very green growing edge of our own evolution. There's Alex. Hi, Alex. And where are you? What are you up to? Here it is a beautiful sunny day, and I had a lovely early morning walk as I prepared for my talk this morning. Hey, Rhonda. And I find that, there's Cindy. I find that being out in nature, going for a walk, gives me an opportunity to tune in to what's real, tune in to that deeper sense of connectivity to life. And there's something very nourishing about an early morning walk. And I enjoy it very much. And I got all sorts of insights and downloads and uploads that I'm excited to share with you today. And I'd love to know where you are, what your morning has unfolded as, and to hear what's in your heart and what's on your mind. So welcome. I want to start with a little meditation. And I invite you to, whatever you're doing, just take a moment, just stop and maybe take a seat, or at least become still. And maybe you close the outer eyes and you turn your awareness to the inside and you take a breath. Unsettle yourself and just notice any thoughts and allow them to come and go, just like a cloud moving across the sky. Allow your thoughts to drift in and drift out, not giving any of them any particular attention, just noticing. And as you notice the thoughts coming and going, and you check into your senses, your hearing. What are the sounds you can hear? Kind of like a soundtrack to life. I can hear the cars driving by and some sort of hum, even though I don't know that it's happening in the real world. There's a kind of just a general hum. What are you seeing behind your closed eyes? Any shapes or colors or images? And what are you sensing? What feelings? Warmth, coolness on your skin. And just notice all the different sensations. And as you pay attention and you arrive, I invite you to become open and curious and available as I share some insights today. And trust that it's not by chance that you're here, that you accepted some invisible, soundless, formless invitation, an invitation for your soul to connect today with me everyone else is here, even the people that will be watching this sometime in the future. Trust and know that right here and right now, all is well. There is a goodness to this moment, a sweetness and a beauty in the presence of this moment, this stillness, your awareness. And your consciousness adds to this experience that we're all having, we're all sharing. This one ongoing, everlasting, eternal now. Maybe place your hand on your heart and just remind yourself of how loved you are. What a miracle you are. And how you being here on this earth adds a richness and a dimension and a beauty and a joy, wisdom, brings so much. Thank you. So much love. Take a breath, relax, and open the eyes. Welcome back. Today I am talking about nuance. It's a word that I selected to represent the N words, which we're covering here at the end of July. And nuance is an interesting word. It's one of those deeper words. It's kind of surface because it affects in a very subtle way what's happening, but it's also a deep word because there's nuance occurring. And nuance actually means, definition in the dictionary, a small difference in sound, feeling, appearance, or meaning. A small difference. And as I've been thinking about nuanced, the word nuance, I realized that humans, we're a little different than the rest of the creatures on this planet, the rest of the living organisms on this earth plane. I don't know if this is implicitly true, but go with me here. I think that humans are different than other creatures because we're actually conscious of being conscious. That we are aware that we're alive. We are aware that we have a body. We're aware that we have a mind, a brain, that we can think. And we're aware that we can do particular actions or tasks or move in a particular direction based on the thoughts that we're having and the desires that arise within us. And we can somehow organize and navigate and use the materials of this physical plane to build things, to make things, to invent things. We're highly adaptive and creative beings. We interact and interface with the world like no other creature. That's a really great thing, and it's a huge responsibility because as we look around and we can see that not every person and not every country or government, societies, we're not all doing the same things. We don't all have the same beliefs, the same values, the same goals. And so we are interfacing with this physical realm and creating things, systems, companies, organizations. We're creating things scientifically. We're creating things that help us feel comfort and warmth and survival. And so we all have these capabilities, but we're not all thinking in the same way about what's important and why we're doing what we're doing. And so as conscious beings, conscious of our thinking and our actions, we may not always be creating things that support all life. We may not be doing things that sustain all of our life, or ensure that we're going to have a world that works for everyone. And so it's tricky in that, yes, human beings are highly creative, highly nuanced. We're able to think in different ways and act in different ways and create different things. We're each so unique and different, radically differentiated beings, unique but yet similar. And so how do we move and co-create and coexist and support each other in this incredible world with the enormous power that we have as humans and cultures and societies and governments? How do we coexist? How do we create a world that we can all live in and feel seen and heard and know that we matter? Because that seems to be what humans want. We want to be seen and heard and safe and know that we matter. That we can create a life of meaning and fulfillment. And so we all seem to be striving for some form of that, but yet we, as on a whole, we don't always create or live in a system that supports that. And so as more and more of us have a spiritual awakening or become more self-aware, become more aware of how interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent we are as living organisms on this living planet, we become more conscious that we as individuals have a big impact and small impact on not only life in general, but within our relationships, within the relationship we have with ourselves. And I like to think of this as conscious living, and we become conscious co-creators with life or with the universe or with God. And so there's a nuance to this discovery of waking up or becoming conscious or having greater self-awareness. There's a thing that we do. We start to notice that we're a physical body, but that's not the entirety of what we are. That we have a mind and we can think, but that's not the entirety of who we are. We are a ineffable spark, spirit, consciousness that is so intrinsically who we are, but yet it's ineffable. We don't see it. We get a sense of it. So we're nuanced beings as we start to awaken. We're more than the body, but we have a body. We're more than the mind, but we have a mind. And we exist as a living organism with a body and a mind within this greater thing that I call spirit or God. And there's another nuanced, subtle dimension to our being, and that's our soul. That's our unique blueprint. None of us are identical. We're all a little bit different, but yet we're human. We're not a mouse, or we're not a leaf or a tree or a flower. We're a human organism. And people have been studying this human condition for eons. There's ancient wisdom that has been passed down, passed along, passed up throughout the ages that help us understand how nuanced it is to be human. I read this poem this morning. This is an excerpt of this beautiful poem by Megan Minutio, I think her name is Megan Minutio. And it goes like, the title is, "We Were Made for This." When we're younger, we're taught about the world in absolutes, good and bad, day and night, black and white, right and wrong, and yet we forget to teach one another that. We were made for nuance. We were made for nuance. We were made to see the shadows and the light, to delight in the slight changes that you behold with the naked eye and with your heart. We were made to notice how the twinkle in someone's eye can dim or brighten in each moment and situation and in each word that we share. We were made to behold the changing seasons, the sweet sounds of spring and the quiet of winter, and how, like the falling of the autumn leaves, people can, too, shed their leaves. We were made for nuance, to see the human behind the story and the complexities of living and a million shades of grey. We were made for this. We are nuanced beings that get to see and sense and experience and become curious about why we're here and what we're doing, and most importantly, what we're going to do and who we're going to be moving forward. There's a nuance to this thing called being human. There's a nuance to being an awake, spiritual being, having a very human incarnation and a deeply spiritual experience. We get to see beyond appearances. I call it seeing with the inner eye. We get to hear beyond the audible sounds. I call it hearing with the inner ear. We get to connect at a deep level with the other people in our lives. Or, because it's always a both and, we get to interact with people on the surface in a very light, beautiful, superficial way. That's the subtlety of being human. There's a nuance. It's a both and. We get to go deep, we get to be shallow. Still waters run deep. Fast waters are fairly shallow. We're a both and. It's the paradox. It's the yin and the yang of life. It's the Tao that's been spoken of and passed along throughout the ages, this mystery of being that even talking about it somehow doesn't quite bring the nuance of it alive. But yet, that's how it goes. We seem to be interfacing with this reality, with this amazing life experience that we all share. But yet, through many bodies of work, sacred texts, movements, organizations, religions, bodies of knowledge, we've been exploring this human condition and trying to figure this thing out. Why? I believe so that we can live in tune, in the flow of the Tao, in this universal, awakened, absolute oneness that we're all living, moving, and having our being within. And so something that I have found so deeply meaningful these days is, and some of you may know this, I've been taking an Enneagram masterclass and certification program, and just got back from Denver doing this deep dive with people that are just as curious as I am on supporting other people, helping other people find out who they really are and create a path forward. And the Enneagram is a program and a system that I'm scratching the surface to and finding a deep resonance with this ancient body of wisdom and symbols and ideas and spiritual ideals that light me up, and I know light us all up once we explore it. And so the premise is that even though we all look fairly similar as humans, that we have this body, we have a similar faculty, the brain, the thinking, we're all sort of slightly different. And the Enneagram kind of creates this symbol, this map. And when you study this map, you begin to get the information you need that helps you navigate this map, this you, and this way of being you, and this way of moving through the world and interacting and interfacing with others. And it's a beautiful thing. There's 27 types, characters that we sort of align with. And once we awaken to these particular mindsets, heart sets, wisdom, intelligence, we can absolutely awaken to a dimension of life that I think all of us, if we're willing to do the work and take the time and put it into practice, can experience and then feel a greater fulfillment, a richer dimension, a vibrancy to life. I think this being in alignment with who we truly are helps us not only gain mind mastery, but mastery over the body, having a deeper sort of connection between the mind, body, soul, and spirit. So it feels like when we're awakened, once we get the map, we open the map, we learn about how to read the map, and we start to actually move through our life moment by moment with full awareness of how we're thinking, how we're feeling, and what we're doing. And it's as though all of a sudden we have been given the choreography, if you will, to the beautiful movements of our particular dance. And so when we know the steps, when we know the movements, when we're interacting with others in a particular graceful way, in a respectful way, we begin to move and be in a way that I think the yogis have been leading us towards our entire life. I'm talking humanity. Humanity's evolution, we've got to this point. And now we're waking up to see that we have within us the ability to live life wide awake. It's nuanced. And I have created an acronym. I try not to do this on some weeks, but there's something within me that just can't stop the desire, the compulsion to create an acronym out of the word that I've chosen. And so nuance it stands for notice underneath appearances, never-ending, constant evolution. Notice underneath appearances, never-ending, constant evolution. So we see our family, we see our life, we see our work and our friends, and we see our bodies, and we see everything that we experience on this physical realm. But there's something deeper happening. So this nuanced way of living and experiencing life is seeing underneath appearances. Because someone could be behaving badly, right? Someone could be in a world of hurt and lashing out and upset and angry, but underneath that, there's hurt, there's pain, there's frustration that's causing that individual to act that way. And so living wide awake or living nuanced, we get to kind of see that. We get to see underneath the appearances, underneath the appearance of physical illness, there's a cause. Underneath the appearance of lack or not having enough or bankruptcy or whatever the appearance is in someone's life or maybe your life, there's a cause or something deeper than that. Underneath a relationship that's broken down, two people that care about each other that aren't talking or are in the midst of an argument, there's something deeper than that. And our humanity, our spirituality, our soul is calling to us to go deeper, to notice underneath appearances the never-ending, constant evolution of things. Everything is in a constant state of flux and change and flow. And that's the important thing to know about being human. That we're constantly able to engage wide awake with the evolutionary creative process of life that's flowing and changing. Nothing static, nothing stuck. You can always think a new thought. You can always be a bit more curious. You can always remember that you are a vehicle, that you and your very life and your thoughts and your words are a vehicle to express greater love, greater beauty, greater wisdom. That happens through you by not buying into appearances, going underneath appearances, knowing that you've got those troubling thoughts or those elevated, uncomfortable emotions, but you go deeper. You go underneath and you tap into the constant, never-ending evolution of things, and you start to realize more and more, I'm here for this moment. I belong in this moment. I matter. And I'm here to bring my unique gifts, my light, my love, my essence, my helpfulness, my caring, my unconditional love, my support. I'm here to bring that forward. So you know who you are as a spiritual being. You know what you are as a conscious co-creator, as someone that's nuanced, noticing underneath appearances the never-ending, constant evolution. So you know who you are, a spiritual being. You know what you are as a conscious co-creator, going a bit deeper, seeing beyond experiences, bringing your unique light into the world. And so you know how you're here to serve humanity, simply by being you, by nuance, shifting your perspective, taking that closer look, and shining your most authentic, truthful, beautiful, magnificent self. I hope that this nuanced conversation has touched your heart. And if you would like support, we've got practitioners here that would love to work with you. If you're working on something, you've got a goal or a dream that you're bringing into reality and you want a partner in believing, call on us. If there's something you're struggling with, you can't quite get to the bright side of things, contact us. We'll help you remember what your heart's forgotten, because it's all in there right within you. We've got people that want to support and help you getting back on track, getting in tune with the nuanced being that you are. So peace and blessings to you right where you are. I trust this has helped support you. And if you'd like to contribute to this ministry and make a donation, you can go to Venmo, Satya Center, or go to our website, Satya life.Org. So let's close with a prayer, a little meditation, and take this nuance into our heart, our mind, and our body, closing the outer eyes and tuning in and knowing that there's only one infinite, creative, beautiful, wise, omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. It's who we are, it's what we are, it's moving, it's flowing, it's inspiring us, it's loving us, it's supporting us right where we are with exactly what we need to thrive and to move and to express and to interface with reality. It's this thing called God, it's this thing called life, it's this thing called now. And as we tune in and open up and become curious, let us know and accept and realize that everything is happening for us. That every challenge, it's happening for our growth. That every struggle is an opportunity to build resilience. That every conflict is an opportunity to find resolve, to make connections, to fall in love with each and every being on this planet by being the presence of love, by sharing our light full blast, by being deep, by being shallow, by being light, by embracing our darkness, by being still, by moving and flowing. We have it all within us, and we say, thank you, life. Thank you for this amazing opportunity to be alive and to share and to receive and to be a part of this grand symphony, this grand dance, this beautiful matrix that we're interfacing with constantly. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of our blessings. For this and everything that is to come, thank you. And may all beings be uplifted through this prayer and by this blessing. Thank you, life. Thank you. I let go and just simply say, thank you. And so it is. Mwah. Peace and blessings to you right where you are. I'll see you next Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow for Growing Edge Live. Go to New Thought Media Network, and you're going to see me live with my friend Jerry Troyer, who is such a light, such an amazing being, a thought leader in the New Thought movement, and doing so much good work. So join me tomorrow for Growing Edge Live on the New Thought Media Network on YouTube. Mwah. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.